Tango down.
Today we're going to be talking about survival, or kill-to-death ratio for all you who don't speak real life. The key to survival goes beyond what gun you choose, what kill streaks you have on. The more you treat the game like real life, the longer you'll survive. The majority of the players who play Call of Duty can be categorized in two different groups. The first, overly aggressive. These players will always charge in, and when they die, they'll go back to the same spot, sprinting, hoping to kill the guy who just killed them. And then there's the survivalists. Survivalists are different than campers. I want to clear this up. There's a difference between holding a point and camping. A camper is someone who sits in the corner of a room hoping that someone will run through the doorway so that they can get an easy kill. A camper is also someone who usually stays in the same spot, and then when the guy who they just killed respawns, they'll come back and nade the room they were just in. They usually don't get many kills. If you're going to hold a point, you can get tons of kills, an extremely high kill streak. You just need to know how to hold a point correctly. The main tip I would give for holding a point would be to always check your radar. The enemy's positions and spawns will constantly be changing, unless you have them spawn trapped, that is. So you have to know where they're going to be and where they're going to come. Also, you need to find the right location to hold. When choosing a point to hold, there are different things you should take into consideration. For one, there should be as few paths to your location as possible. This will reduce the chances of getting shot from behind and the chances that people will flank you. You should also pick somewhere that has a pretty decent amount of cover, something that you can hide behind, something that you can retreat back from, something that'll soak up bullets. Having multiple escape routes will be key to your survival. Also, the weapon you choose will be very important. For example, right now I'm using the M16 with the reflex sight. This gun has really nice range, especially with the reflex sight. It gives a little bit of zoom, has great accuracy, and does good damage. The weapon you pick needs to be able to lay down large volumes of fire, and it should also be able to put them down quickly without spending too much ammunition, because reloading would be downtime. Even with sleight of hand, you want to avoid as much downtime as possible when holding a point, because you will have a lot of action coming towards your location. The mindset behind being a survivalist in this game is that you want to get all of your kill streaks so that you can help your teammates out and also improve your KD. Of course, in a game of domination, not everyone on your team can be a survivalist or you'll never win. But to have a couple people who hold points would be the best way to actually go about taking the game on. All the best points to hold all pretty much share the same characteristics. They usually all have long eyesights down to where their spawn is or somewhere around where their spawn will lead to. You want to get behind cover in a point of interest where you know that the enemies will have to funnel in through. This point is also a very strong area right here on WMD. From here you can watch this long hallway where they'll run from where the spawn really is, and then the hallway to the left that opens up to B. If you're holding a point, it's a good idea to use kill streaks that will aid your teammates, such as the spy plane, the SR-71 Blackbird, and dogs. You don't want to use a kill streak that'll take your attention away from the point you're holding. If you're too busy flying your helicopter around, you're not going to know when someone runs up on you and kills your entire team by flanking, just because you were too busy on the phone. If I go into a match knowing that I'm mostly going to be holding points, I'll usually put on the Blackbird. The SR-71 Blackbird is great because it not only tells you where the enemies are coming from, but also aids your teammates who are being a little more aggressive in the thick of it. In terms of holding a point, the weapons I would recommend would be pretty much any of the assault rifles that are not semi-automatic. So 3-round burst guns or fully automatic guns are preferable. I wouldn't use any of the heavy machine guns because they take too long to reload, even with sleight of hand. I normally just stick with the Galil with the reflex sight or the M16 with the reflex sight. Alright guys, to review, when holding a point and you feel something's wrong, you're getting pressed too hard and there's too many enemies, don't be afraid to retreat and work back to the same position. There are multiple different points to hold in each map, so don't be afraid to retreat. But make sure, if you do retreat, that you work back to another position as quickly as possible. Also choose kill streaks that aid your team, such as the spy plane, the SR-71 Blackbird, something that doesn't take time for you to actually use. Anything that is a helicopter that you have to pilot, I would avoid that if you're holding points. And lastly, I would choose the right weapon. Make sure to stick to assault rifles, something that can lay down a lot of fire, so you want to stay away from the semi-automatic rifles. The heavy machine guns can work, but you need to rely more on accuracy than firepower in terms of holding a point. And that's it for today's lesson on Tango Down. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out all the other lessons from Tango Down.